What's up, guys? It's Liam from the Brezin F1 podcast. We're just wrapping up the Australian Grand Prix qualifying round. Andrew and I put a shift in tonight. We're going to be recording a podcast for the race also, so make sure you guys tune in, like and subscribe, leave comments on the Brezin F1 channel, and we hope you like it. Cheers.
What's going on, everybody? The boys of Brezin are back. Qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix just wrapped up not too long ago, and we're going to give our quick little recap on what happened. First off, Leclerc again, another podium. We'll just say that off the top of the show here. Not surprised, man. That Ferrari is just crazy pace, crazy power.
Oh, yeah.
And they've come to play, man.
Yeah, even looking at the lap times from the Q1, Leclerc was just ahead by such a large margin for over everyone else except for Red Bull. He was ahead of Lando by almost a second, and Lando was fourth in Q1. So, that Ferrari engine, the unit's just dominating over all the other power units in the circuit.
Yeah, and it's good to see the McLarens being back up there again. Obviously, this being Ricciardo's home race. We haven't been back in Australia in over 1,000 days, they've said, and he's actually been gone from Australia for the same amount of time. Mm-hmm. I've been following him on social a little bit, and he's saying how he hasn't been back home in almost over 2 years.
Yes.
Obviously, with COVID happening and stuff. So for him to get back and see some family, hopefully that kind of gives him a little kick in the ass that he needs to get going this year.
Yep.
Because, him and the McLaren team, but him especially, have had a really off season so far.
Yes.
And I was reading up on some things saying that they're bringing a new package or they're bringing some new aero to this race. Mm-hmm. And even on the straights, you could see the McLaren car was doing pretty well on the porpoising.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with the power unit. I don't think that's all the aero from them, because compared to Mercedes is still suffering the porpoising, same engine supplier. So
yes,
they're showing some improvements this race, and it showed in Q1 with Lando and Danny getting finally out of Q1 together. Mm-hmm. And going into this race as well, a lot of talk about the Alpines with Ocon and Alonso.
Yes,
crazy fast. I think in Q1, Q1 they were both top 6 or top 7. I think getting out of Q1, irrelevant in the whole grand scheme of things. Just get top 15 and you're through.
Yes, exactly.
But the Alpine also showing a good package, and it's nice because we said before how obviously the engine power units are all settled. They're all level for the remainder of the season. Mm-hmm. But it's just the other little things that teams are doing now, little tricks, little things that they're improving. Side pod here, a little less material on the car here, change the wing a little bit.
Yep.
And it's all trial and error. And for some teams, it's working out. For other teams, it's just not.
Yeah. Anything that it's not working out. It's not working out for the old Aston Martin.
No, not too well this year.
Yeah, like you were saying, shedding weight is probably one of the biggest things with these cars. We know that to fix the porpoising issue, all they do is they'll just raise the front wing a little bit, but that ruins their downforce effect. But I also think that by shedding weight, in qualifying, they're running on minimum fuel, right? So the car is not as heavy when it's going into the race. What are they carrying, 100 kilos of fuel during the race?
A ton, yeah.
So that's going to obviously contribute more to the porpoising issue. It's more weight, right? More weight going up, more weight going down from porpoising. So I don't think that in qualifying, seeing that not as many teams are dealing with that issue, because it's kind of they don't have all the race conditions going into qualifying, right? They're running on brand new soft tires with minimum fuel. The cars are just made to go as fast as they possibly can. So, looking into the race tomorrow, it's looking good so far for McLaren, but I hope that they have solved that porpoising issue. And because obviously it's going to help your pace overall in the race. But going into Q1, I was actually kind of surprised that Magnussen didn't make it into Q2.
Yeah.
Obviously Schumacher did, which kind of is like a flip-flop for the last 2 races of the season. I was kind of surprised that he finished he was P16. He was 16 on the grid tomorrow. So, I was kind of shocked. Williams down there, not surprised. Vettel was hoping to make his debut this season with he put in 3 laps in Q1. I think he put in, what was it, 25 laps probably up until Saturday.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't many.
That's upsetting for the old Aston Martin F1 team.
Yeah. I mean, Aston Martin, I mean, they're just, I don't know. They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out at some point. I don't know, like what's going to be good about the car, what's going to be bad about the car. I mean, there's a lot of things bad about the car.
Yeah.
But the good points, hopefully they'll show up some point, because there's no way that they should not be racing for points.
No.
So at some point in the season.
Yeah. Like, you can't be that bad.
Yeah. I wouldn't put them in the ranking of, the Williams car, but I mean, other than Williams, like every other team is actually showing some major improvements. Like someone's got to finish last. Like someone's got to finish 17th.
Yes,
but
exactly.
We're used to seeing the Williams always down there, but the other teams that are around there, I mean, the AlphaTauris or the Alfa Romeos are finishing.
Even the AlphaTauris
in the points. The AlphaTauris are finishing in the points. The teams that we thought might not be as good are getting points this year.
Yes. Yep.
Other than the Aston Martin and the Williams. So for them to be as low as they are, it's kind of sad to see that.
For a team that was so competitive 2 years ago with your racing point. So,
and we thought they'd be better this year because of the money invested and the new improvements to the facility and just the overhaul of
like a fresh start.
Fresh start. So fresh right now.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. 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 Your Q1 really nothing too exciting about it. Everyone that we thought was going to move through did move through. By the way, we are recording this super late on Saturday. We
if you see what's hard.
We are exhausted. But we had in Q2 now, we have Gasly, Bottas, Tsunoda, Zhou Guanyu, and Mick Schumacher, who are the drivers that made it into Q2, not into Q3.
Yep.
Gasly, I don't know. I feel like he's just lacking pace this season overall. Like for someone that was so consistent last year, like I was saying a couple podcasts ago, he's like he's like the fucking Kisner of top 20s. He was the guy in P4 like all the time. There. No man's land P4.
Tons of P4 starts last year for Gasly. You're right. And the AlphaTauri coming with the Ferrari package. We would thought they would have. Oh, sorry, no, not Ferrari package.
Oh, the Red Bull package. The Red Bull powertrains. Yeah.
I mean, that could be another thing too. Like they could have like some issue with the power units. Like you're not totally sure what's going on. Last year having the Honda, they knew that they had a really quick car, and Gasly took full advantage of that.
Yeah.
This year again, them making their own powertrain, there could be some issues still. We'll have to see how the year plays out. But from Gasly's standpoint, it's been a disappointing season so far, to say the least.
Yes.
Like he's a guy, like he said, who started P4 so many times last year. Did they have a podium last year? He had at least a podium last year, I believe.
I don't remember.
I know he had the race win 2 years ago at Monza, but I'm pretty sure he had a podium last year.
If not, he came close.
If not, he was always around there. He scored tons of points for that team. I mean, we did a whole breakdown a few podcasts ago of like how we saw the teams last year and our expectations this year.
Yeah.
And he got like 80% of the points off of Tauri last year. If not for him, they would have been one of the bottom teams with Tsunoda there. Not really pulling his weight.
No.
Well, he only weighs like 60 pounds, though, so it's not much weight to pull.
Yeah.
But, little guy.
He should be better in the car. He should be faster.
He should be flying it.
Even, Bottas, too. This is the first time in how many races that he didn't make it into Q3?
Over 100.
Over 100 races, no Q3. I was surprised there. I don't think he had the best laps. I think he was caught in a lot of traffic in Q2 that he didn't actually, get to give you the full potential of the car. And to finish behind Gasly by, it was 2/10.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wished he moved on. I like seeing Bottas doing good for in a new team.
Yeah, just looking at it right now, actually, like obviously as you progress through the qualifying stages, your Q2 times faster than your Q1. You would think your Q3 is faster than your Q2.
It's not the case all the time, actually.
Well, I was thinking out of everyone who did not qualify into Q3, out of the 5 drivers, Bottas and Zhou Guanyu were the only ones that set a slower Q2 time than their Q1 time.
Oh, I see that.
Sorry, and along with Schumacher in last and 15th there.
Oh yeah, Schumacher had a better Q1 time. Again, that must have been something with the traffic.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because there's no way that your car's tuned up a little bit more. You're
all on softs.
Yeah, extend the limit a little bit more with your driving style. You get into the corner a little bit later, you brake a little bit later.
Yep.
That's just kind of what you do naturally as you progress in qualifying. And Bottas knows how to qualify
for sure.
So I think, he
has raw pace. He's a fast, he's a qualifying driver.
Yeah, I think he's a great qualifying driver.
He can string it together when he needs to.
Maybe not so much in the racing, because we've seen before with Mercedes, he's kind of hesitant.
Streaky. He's kind of streaky.
He is. If he doesn't start right at the top for the race, if he's not starting like P1, P2, you rarely see him climb to P1. And dating back to the years previous, obviously he's racing against Lewis Hamilton, so the guy that he would have to pass for P1 would be Lewis, which is one of the hardest tasks.
Really hard to do, obviously,
But you never see Bottas climb from like a P4 to win. He's always 1 or 2.
Yep.
Just from qualifying, which is, like I said, his bread and butter. But him not showing up in Q2 and posting a faster time,
surprised.
A little surprising. We'll see tomorrow in the race if he can climb some spots a little bit, because like you said, he has the pace, he's got power.
Yep.
And the guys that qualified ahead of him, like Pierre Gasly, he can maybe get past him, because the Alfa Romeo package, is pretty fast. Like, they have their Ferrari package. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, like they're just the sister. They're the sister of Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
got the Alphas mixed up talking about Gasly. Alpha Tauri is the Red Bull
too many
package.
Alphas. There can only be one.
That's why it's an
Someone's
Alpha.
got to be called Beta. Beta Tauri.
Beta Tauri. That's definitely Tsunoda. He's definitely the Beta.
He's the Beta.
Yeah.
Moving on to Q3.
Oh yeah, so I had so many jokes in my head right there. Like, beta try next time. Beta try harder.
Beta try harder.
Beta try harder to Q3.
Okay. Q3. Yeah, I'd say the biggest upset was Fernando Alonso going into the wall, putting in a sector time in sector 2. He was 0.2 or 3/10 up on Leclerc.
He was purple.
He was flying.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to say it was inevitable, but I think he was pushing the car past the limit of what it was. And I guess that's what you got to do in qualifying.
Yeah.
In qualifying, you're got to be the fastest one on the track. So, you got to find the limit of the car and just get it right to there the whole time.
You got to find a limit.
You got to put some Schumacher laps in.
And he was flying through sector 2. Also, Carlos Sainz getting in P9. That was an issue from the Alonso crash. Yep. He had to slow down in his sector, kind of ruined his time. And then by the time where he was out on the track, by the time
he started he was at 0 minute. Like, he started right where there's no time left. So this was make or break for him.
I think he only had 1 run. That's what he did. Yeah. So when Alonso had his wreck, he had no time to set another qualifying lap. So Carlos Sainz starting at P9, the furthest he's been in a while, even dating back to last year.
Yes.
The Ferrari was always kind of a mid top 10. Yeah.
Especially with their package this year. It's obviously not what the team wants to see, but you could just tell he was super frustrated too towards the end of it, as he should be, because you had Leclerc that's just pulling fucking laps out of his ass.
That's the thing. Like, when your car's fast
and you can't just produce it,
and you can't get to that level, it's like you just keep chasing it. It's like the carrot in front of your face. Like, it's it's right there, but you can't get it.
Can't get it. Yeah.
And that's kind of his situation, because he knows how fast he can go. There's no way he couldn't start P1 this race.
And he has pace too. He showed that he's had pace in the last 2 races.
Like, he was setting like his qualifying 2 time was quicker than Leclerc's Q1. He was only off by 0.2 in Q2. Mm-hmm. So for him not to set, he's actually quicker than Leclerc in Q2.
He was, yeah.
I was looking at Alonso's time. Mm-hmm. He was quicker than Leclerc in Q2, setting the second fastest lap behind Sergio Perez. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the pace was there for him for sure. There's no way he couldn't dip into the 117s like Leclerc did.
Yeah, just unlucky overall. Like, he was almost 2 seconds off of Leclerc in Q3.
Because that was just a shitty lap for him.
Unfortunate, yeah. Mercedes 5-6. They still kind of look like they're improving, but they're not improving as fast as the 2 front runners. Your Red Bull, your Ferrari and Red Bull. It's good to see McLaren making it into Q3.
Yes.
I'm just happy because the last 2 races were just absolute disasters for them. Mm-hmm. It just is nice to see them making improvements on the car. Obviously, they must be getting some new parts shipped in. But it's good to see them up there. I'm not wearing my McLaren hat tonight, but it's good. Lando obviously finished in P4, Daniel P7. Hopefully in the race, maybe you can get 4 and 5 in the race.
Don't see why not. I mean, those sorry, the McLaren and the Mercedes can kind of go like match for match sometimes. I guess with like having the same power unit, like we said before.
Yeah, they're almost like they're not identical, but they're pretty close. They're pretty similar cars.
Yeah, and it just comes down to like this. I think the driver basically. Like clearly the design of the cars are a little bit different, but if you have the same power unit, there's no way that you shouldn't be able to rival that team or that driver. So we'll probably see some good battles tomorrow between Mercedes and McLaren. And
but between the four of them, there's 3/10.
Yeah, it's
which
tight.
Is pretty tight for those two.
And with the new design of Albert Park here with the new DRS zones
zones.
Well,
I think it's such a fast race.
I think they're cutting it to 3 for the race.
Are they?
I heard that. Yeah, they're cutting it to 3 DRS zones for the race. They're taking away one of the zones, which I don't understand why.
I mean, DRS would be open the entire time if they had 4 zones, which is awesome.
Let's do it.
I want to see that. I would love to see that.
Some people are coming out with other videos. I've seen some videos on YouTube of guys saying, like, is DRS too much? Should we get rid of DRS?
No, don't get rid of it. They implemented it for a reason.
Get out of here.
Yeah, come on.
You want to see passing.
Yes, exactly. That was the whole point. Yeah. So that they don't, think about how exciting it is.
Imagine no DRS right now.
When
it's so boring.
Like, and you hear Crofty on the TV, he's like, oh, he's within DRS zone. He's going to get DRS on the straight. It's like, it hypes it up. It makes it's more exhilarating, the DRS, I think.
And imagine like these cars being as close as they are to be able to drive with each other, but then not being able to pass.
Yeah.
Wow, exactly. He's driving really close behind him for 18 and a half laps. And you're just driving the same way. It's like, pass the guy.
Yes.
Get DRS,
and then the nice thing is, too, is the counter DRS. Like we've seen in the last few races, there wouldn't have been... People are saying that's too much. I think that without having the DRS, we wouldn't have had the excitement in those last few races.
Oh, there's no way.
I think that's exciting, personally. I don't care. If you don't like it, then don't watch Formula 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you watch it for the excitement. You watch it for the passing, clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the whole thing's about, right?
So tomorrow on the grid, this is our starting 10.
Yep.
You have Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Norris, Hamilton, Russell, Ricciardo, Ocon, Sainz, and Fernando Alonso to get P10. So that's big.
Yeah,
big. It'll be a good race tomorrow.
I mean, I think that's kind of, if we were to do like a ranking of like preseason ranking of like what we think a top 10 would look like.
Yes.
Not in this order, but these drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, you maybe mix in like, you can kind of like sub out maybe like Ocon for Gasly.
Yeah.
You would think, or even,
Bottas for Ricciardo.
The knowledge of like having Bottas this season and like knowing how he's doing, like how well he's doing with that Alfa Romeo. You could sub him in for Alonso or Ocon or Ricciardo, somebody. But for the most part, I think these would be the most competitive
cars over the weekend.
Cars in top 10
for sure.
For sure. The races to come.
Yep, I agree. Hopefully Haas can make it happen tomorrow.
Yeah,
I want Mick to get top 10.
I know you do.
I do. I want to wear a suit.
Bucket.
I want to. Anyway, all right, guys. We are going to wrap it up here. We will see you tomorrow on race weekend. It's 1:00 a.m. here in Ontario, Canada.
Yes, it is.
But make sure you guys like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're going to be posting a qualifying and a race video. Also, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. Just give us a listen. I hope you enjoy.
Leave a comment too. Leave a for Apple
leave
Podcasts,
a comment. Actually, leave
a review and give us a 5-star.
Exactly.
Like. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and even on YouTube, if you guys want to comment, you guys want to hear us talk about some stuff, it'll help us out too, because we can give you more than just race reviews. And obviously our last video, which we did the slap off, make sure you guys go check that out on YouTube. It's our most previous video. It was who is more deserving of who to slap who on the grid.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, cheers for now, and we will see you tomorrow.